So hello and welcome back to the official selection. My name is Neve Brooke and I'm here today with Pippa and Pippa from 22+1. How are you today?
We're super well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's always nice when people ask how I am, so thank you. So we are here with the director and star and the writer of 22+1. Producer, sorry. How are you finding Norwich Film Festival so far?
We love it. It's a bit of a whirlwind stop for us, but we love it. Everyone's been super, super welcoming, and we've just watched our film play, and yeah, it's always kind of special to be in a cinema, you know, with other cinema goers, watching our film and kind of getting immediate feedback, if you like.
And what's it like sort of being the filmmakers in the screen? Is it hard to sort of watch your film and also just not watch everyone around you and like pay attention to the film, or is it just amazing to be in that atmosphere?
It's a weird one. It's quite surreal. Pippa and I have been working on 22+1 for 5 years. So to be in any kind of a room, whether it's a cinema, whether it's, I don't know, a sort of, you know, conference room or wherever one might, you know, if it's on a laptop, wherever anybody's watching the film, to sit and experience that is just quite surreal but really lovely. And also it's lovely to see, I like how short film festivals sort of block all the films together, so you get to see a real sort of, you get to see what everybody else is doing and seeing these amazing emerging filmmakers. So it just feels like a real privilege.
That's so wonderful. So to start, tell us a bit about 22+1, sort of how the idea came to be, what was it like making the film? Just give us a sort of overview of the whole film because it's so beautiful and it's so important. So I just want to pick your brains.
So I lost my baby at 20 weeks into pregnancy and wrote an article for Vogue, which I am too old to say it went viral, but it went kind of global because I was very honest about my baby loss and that, you know, I carried him after he died in our house to the ambulance and he was cold and beautiful. And it was a very sort of one of the more real articles that had been published at that time. Then some years later, I wrote a book called Beyond Grief. And in the process of writing the book, I interviewed 400 women during COVID because everyone was quite available. So we did lots of Zooms, and it became very clear very quickly that nationwide, the experience of Black women was deeply layered to that of the white women's experience. And it was happening too often and with too many similarities to be a coincidence. So I knew that there was something I had to do with the information I was given because I believe that you're given information for a reason. But as a white woman, I can't take the story forward on my own. So I called one of my greatest friends, Pippa, and who's an actor, writer, producer, director already. And I just said, look, I have this information and I believe we should make a film. And immediately Pippa said yes.
And it's so important, it's so beautiful, it's so, evocative in its story. Creating that together, what was that process like? It must have been difficult, creating that story. What was it like?
It actually hasn't been difficult. It's been, to get finance was difficult, to get everything in place was difficult. The time it took was difficult, I suppose, in the sense it's taken us 5 years. But it was just, it sounds so cheesy, but it was just the right time for us two to come together and work on something. So the whole thing with Pippa has been a pleasure, and we shouldn't say it's been joyful because the subject is so heavy, but working together has been joyful, and knowing that we were going to get a story out into the world that needs to be told was really, really important to both of us. So there's probably nothing greater that we will ever make. Because the story is so meaningful.
And getting to share it, across the country and across the globe with film festivals must be so cathartic. Getting to share this important story and seeing people react to it must be incredible to see.
Yeah, we've had some really brilliant responses in terms of people deeply connecting with the story that we're telling, which, Pippa and I are very committed to making real change with the film. I think that's the sort of power of film, is that you can make people feel something. And if you can make people feel something, they'll be more encouraged to act. We're working for real policy change and using the film as a way to move the needle forward. And, we talk all the time about how people can read data and read a pie chart and kind of be sort of, aggressively shoved down one's throat. But if you're sitting in or watching on your laptop, or if you're watching it at the cinema or in a festival, hopefully you'll feel something, and then we can all be part of a movement to get things changed.
Yeah. Those 20 minutes we spend with Ruby, we learn so much about her and what she's been through, and it's a mirror of the experience of Black women across the country. So thank you for creating the story and sharing it with our festival and other festivals. And once the film was done, obviously you needed to share it with the world. Was there a sort of strategy, getting it to festivals, choosing which ones to go to? What was that process like?
We certainly chose the ones that we felt would appreciate and connect with the story. We didn't want to do a mass send out because our story is so personal that we really wanted to be specific with who had previously shown commitment to social impact stories and who would understand what we were trying to say. And that's not meant in a condescending way, just we didn't want to send it to 40 festivals. We needed to be sure that it was going to the right home. So we were really grateful when Norwich wrote back and said, you're in. We haven't shown it to anybody apart from private screenings and film festivals. So we're screening it in Parliament this coming Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, we were invited 2 weeks ago to show it in Parliament. So this is huge.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So that's happening on Tuesday at 5:00. So let's see what happens from that when 40 MPs are gathering to watch it with us.
Yeah.
And then it's a case of, let's see what happens. I mean, we made it for the women who have experienced this and who continue to experience this, and also as a way of highlighting and educating people who wouldn't particularly understand this subject if it wasn't shown to them, because they might, as Pippa said, not read a report or a newspaper article. So then we have to decide what happens to it after we've done its festival run, because we do want it to be available to everybody.
Yeah. Well, film is such a great way to, to drive discussion. I mean, we've seen it with so many films, and I'm sure yours will, and I'm sure everything will go great at Parliament. That's such an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, we're delighted.
What other festivals have you screened at? Like, where other places have seen your amazing film?
We premiered at the London Film Festival, which was great. That was where we wanted to be as a premiere, because we made it in London. The change making is unfortunately happening predominantly in London. If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be there. So so we were thrilled about that, and we're waiting on a couple of others that give us a decision in December. So
very exciting. And I know we've spoken a little bit about it, and we mentioned that there was a man next to you that shed a tear. But seeing your film on the big screen, what's that like? I know we sort of spoke a little bit before about you can be a little bit more objective now, but as the creatives behind it, how does it feel seeing it being watched as it's meant to be seen?
Do you want to give that? I, because of my sort of, role on the film, directing it, I've seen it so many times. I've seen it, in different variations of it, and have seen it through every stage, once we finished shooting. But every time I see it on a big screen, and actually, weirdly, today, having just watched it, I felt really like, oh my goodness, I put my absolute heart and soul into this. And sometimes that's actually the first time that I've really gone, oh my God, this is something that we've worked on for such a long time. But I don't know, it kind of really shook me today. So basically, a very long-winded way of saying that it's really lovely. It's lovely to see your work on a screen, and also because Pippa's one of my greatest and dearest friends in the entire world, and to have gone on this journey with her, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, but, she gifted her lived experience to me and to women who look like me. And it's just every time I sit there and I'm like, wow.
What an incredible thing to experience together as well, and to go through this journey together. And it's so clear that there is passion behind every frame in this film. So to go through that with your best friend must just be like the most amazing ride ever. So thank you for gifting it to us. How, festivals are more than just screening a film. How do you find all the other aspects, the networking, the chatting to other directors and other creatives, and what is that like? Is it daunting, or do you enjoy picking other creatives' brains?
We love film, so just to be able to see what other people have been making, but as filmmakers ourselves, we know what's gone into it, and so I love it when I can meet other teams and they're sitting there watching their film in a slot like we just did at Norwich, and you're like, we know what went into this. You didn't just decide to make this one weekend. Like, we know, we sort of imagine the backstory and then speak to others about the years it's taken, the effort it's taken, the downfalls, the highs, the lows.
The tears.
The tears, yeah.
The blood and the sweat.
The blood and the sweat.
Yeah. But it's just like shorts are really special as well, though, because people discount how important they are or where they sit in the rung of filmmaking. But they are so important, particularly when you're telling stories, to be able to get this impact out in such a short space of time. So
I also feel with shorts, you really get a sense of the filmmaker's voice before someone sort of meddled with it and told them that, you know, it's not a big studio film where you might be more constricted. But so it's really lovely to start hearing all of those voices and seeing what the stories people want to tell.
I always find at Norwich as well that you see so many perspectives, you know, because like you said, no one's meddled. There's so much passion and so much like stories that I would never have thought of. You see next to sci-fi, you'll see your film, and like, there's so many different, you know, and every single shot has meaning because you don't have very much time.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love. Not that I'm biased working at the Norwich Film Festival, but I do love a short film.
It's a lovely feeling here. That's why everyone's been so kind and really in it.
Yes, from the moment we were accepted, we've really felt such a warmth from the Norwich team.
Like
so
thank
you.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people watching that are budding filmmakers themselves. You know, they've just made their first short film. Do you have any advice for them submitting to a festival for the first time? You know, do's and don'ts for your first submission, or where to apply?
I think what we said before is you've got to look at the history of the festival. You can't just say, oh, it's a big named festival, that's where I'm going to head, because it doesn't work like that. You have to look at what their history is, what their beliefs are, how they cultivate filmmakers. And I would say just concentrate on those ones rather than doing mass send-outs. Yeah. You have to really be sure of where you're sending it, because also then your rejection rate will hopefully be lower as well, that you're getting to the right place.
I basically agree. I think there should be alignment with what your film is about with the festival's kind of ethos. I think it all has to feel connected.
It's always so interesting because so many filmmakers have given such a different answer when it comes to that. Yeah, so it's interesting aligning your ethos with the film and making sure that it's the correct home. You know, it's the right fit. So thank you for sharing that. Is there anything about your festival journey that you would do differently? Do you think? Is there anything that you wish you'd done, or are you pretty happy with everything?
I don't feel so. I feel we've had a lovely time.
A great run. That's what we like to hear. Nice.
I mean, the only advice that or the things that we've been told so far is that if our film had been shorter, we would have been in more festivals. Yeah. So maybe that's some advice for people. It's really concentrating on. I mean, we feel we couldn't have made ours shorter.
No, I think everything is exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah, but that's the advice that not advice, but some feedback that we loved your film, but simply it was 21 minutes long.
Yeah.
So.
And I think the most exciting question I've got to ask you is there anything else coming? Is there anything in the future that we can expect from Pippa and Pippa?
Yes, we're under lock and key, but yes, we will be sharing in the coming months what we're up to, but it's all really exciting.
Oh my gosh, well, I can't wait. I mean, I loved 22+1. I think it's so important. It sparks so much discussion, and it's sparking even more. So thank you for sharing with us. It's such an important film. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Letting me pick your brain. That was in perfect unison.
Eerie.
Thanks for having us. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.